Hi everyone, this is Kiran KP. Today I'm going to be talking about how, after making a suggestion on the Cyber Republic website, how the suggestion goes through the CRC process, Cyber Republic consensus, how it reaches the consensus, how it turns into a proposal, how it may get rejected, or if not, then how it may finally pass, and then the original author of the proposal may get funding to work on their suggestion. So, first of all, before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and log into the Cyber Republic website here so I can show different things here. So the first thing that we want to talk about is what is a suggestion? A suggestion simply is a request or a feedback or a comment or a service or an addition, anything that a community member may think is a good suggestion for the betterment of the Elastos community, Elastos ecosystem, that can be a suggestion. You don't even need to have any technical knowledge to create a suggestion. Any community member can participate in it. All you have to do is go to log into Cyber Republic website, go to suggestions, and then add a suggestion. And you can basically add a suggestion. After you add the suggestion, it gets populated here. And so now let's turn our page to talk about how a suggestion may finally turn into a proposal and how it goes through the different process on the as part of the Cyber Republic consensus mechanism. So first of all, a proposal, it needs to go through the various process of the Cyber Republic consensus. And in order to, before your suggestion even turns into a proposal, what happens is you create a suggestion as a community member, and then you gather feedback, comments, likes, dislikes, whatever it is. If you garner enough support, if one of the Cyber Republic members, council members, is sold on the idea, then they can turn it into a proposal. So this is the diagram that talks about that here. So the first part is, okay, you submit a suggestion. It turns into a proposal. It's basically the submitted status is after the proposal owner completes the proposal and signs it. Basically, the way that the proposals are created on Elastos is the blockchain keeps track of all the signature, the original author of the proposal, and the council member who has voted in favor. And so the proposals in this state, as soon as they're submitted to the blockchain, it's not immediately available to the public. The public cannot see it, but it's basically a way to sign the proposal with the signature, with the DID, decentralized identity that they have, so that the council members can take a look at it. So the next step, the next status in this process is council voting. This is basically a proposal that has been recommended by the Cyber Republic council member and is in the voting period. So this kind of proposal basically contains two signatures: the signature of the proposal owner, whoever submitted the proposal, and the signature of the person who recommends the proposal. This is basically one of the 12 council members. And this is where the proposal gets published to the blockchain, at which point anyone in the community can look at it through various apps that they use, either through cyberrepublic.org over here, if you go over to proposals, or you can even use Essentials app to basically look at the suggestions and the proposal. So suggestion is when it's submitted. Council voting is basically a proposal that has been recommended by the council member, one of the council member, and it's published to the blockchain. The next step in the process is the community review. It's basically this is a period where a proposal has entered the period after the approval of the Cyber Republic Council. So this is where the community gets to get their feedback, likes, dislikes, whether it is a good proposal or not, and so on and so forth. Moving forward, we're going to come back to this rejected in a little bit, but moving forward to the tracked status. So basically, after the notification period, the community, one thing to note is the community review, it is a total of 7 days. So within the 7 days, if the community likes it, then the proposal goes through, and basically it goes to the tracked period. This is basically the notification period where the proposal enters the implementation period, during which the implementation of the proposal is conducted. So this is where the original suggestion of the proposal, let's say there are several tasks that the proposal demands. As an example, if the proposal was to deploy an API service to the main chain node, it may have several tasks underneath it. So in order to track it correctly and step by step, basically the original proposal owner gathers a team, gets the funding, and basically you start to check off different tasks based on the milestone date and based on the due date that it has. So the next step after the tracked is finalized. This is the final status of a proposal. This basically indicates that the proposal has achieved the desired goal, which means that all the tasks were completed on time, and the funding was also distributed over to the original proposal owner, and so on and so forth. So two of the status here are rejected and canceled. So rejected is basically a period that is rejected during the voting period of whenever the community review period is going on, which is 7 days. And the canceled here, it's basically a proposal that is terminated before it becomes finalized. So this means that a proposal may get through the community review and it may get to this point. Even it may get approval from the Cyber Republic Council members, but at the end of the day, for one reason or another, maybe the original proposal owner wants to cancel, or something happened. Whatever it is, there may be a multitude of reasons. At this point, the proposal can also get canceled. And basically, because it's canceled, they would not receive the funding. But the idea is that this is the entire flow of how a proposal goes through the different process, from the submission, from the suggestion period, over to voting, over to community review. One thing to note is council voting is also for 7 days. So the council can vote on the proposal, and basically if enough council members vote 2/3 of the vote, if the proposal receives 2/3 of the vote, then it gets to the community review period, which is another 7 days. So in this community review period, the community gets to veto the proposal if they don't agree with the council voting. So these two are both 7 days each, 14 days total. But a proposal may get rejected either whenever the council voting is going on, if it does not receive over 2/3 of the signatures from the council members, or let's say it gets through that and then gets to the community review. And if the community wants to basically oppose the proposal, they can veto it by basically, once the number of votes against this proposal exceeds 10% of all circulating supply, the proposal automatically becomes invalid. So a single vote can be used against multiple proposals. That's another thing to keep in mind. So your vote, even if, let's say you have 10 ELA, and there are 5 proposals that you want to vote on, that means that you have 10 votes for all of those proposals that you can vote to. So all of that is recorded on the blockchain. Everything is fully mostly automated, because the human part, the humans involved in council voting, community review, they still need to manually sign they're voting and put it on the blockchain. But other than that, most of it is decentralized. Most of it requires the completion of certain tasks before it gets to the next part of the proposal, and so on and so forth. So this is basically a 10,000 feet overview, I suppose, for how a suggestion turns into a proposal and goes through the entire Cyber Public consensus process. Thank you for watching.